First opened back in 1975, there's a look inside the iconic Superdome in downtown New Orleans.
Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the New Orleans Saints. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Jameis going to look to throw right away.
And his throw is incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. From the gun, Winston.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
So 2 incompletions have led him to an early 3rd and 10. Off the play fake, Winston. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Hunter Nicewander on to punt now on 4th down.
Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49.
10 yards and a Seattle 1st down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
They'll run. It's Kenneth Walker. He'll take this to the 46.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Dumps that off to Penny as running back.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. What a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Oh, he tries to give it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
And the Saints will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Winston. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 27.
Winston again. It's Kamara.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
The Saints at 4-5, a game under 500. Well, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
The ball is out. Kamara fumbled it.
Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Alvin Kamara, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown.
Looks good on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Taken from about the 12.
And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 and the 24. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And he'll just get rid of it. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week. And you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Winston now from the 50.
There's Chris Olave.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 23. That one good for 26 and a first down. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
This will be a jet sweep to Crowder.
And able to work his way down to the 16. Can see this quite a bit on running plays when the guy's out wide. A lot of times, though, doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara.
He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11.
They run it again with Kamara. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
On 3rd down, Winston. And it's caught. Touchdown, Saints.
Adam Troutman,
his first touchdown on the year.
And the Saints go up by 2 touchdowns.
Lutz with the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Open man, Parham. He's got him. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Let's go now.
The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Unlock line. Unlock line. Alert. Alert.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Hurt. Hey, check that. Street.
2nd and long. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
This offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
Penny up the middle. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive.
It'll be a gain of
of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to a 1st down.
Now it's Crowder. Good blocking there, and nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Working with 2nd and 5 now. Now Winston. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Poona Ford, the one to get to him and drop him. I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to him, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. They'll look to throw here. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Hunter Nicewater on a punt as he sends this one away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Second and 2. He rifles one that's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's called the double-digit mark for the entire season.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fade.
Another try after the first down sack. Winston. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Jameis to throw it.
That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
From the red zone now, Winston. That is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Saints will extend their lead here just before halftime. That's good on the extra point, and it makes the score 21-0.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken from about the 12. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gooden, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter from the 10. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
Here's 2nd and 8. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. A 10th carry for Kamara. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Winston. Touchdown! 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston. And the Saints take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Taken from about the 12. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think
that his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today?
picked up by Pete Werner. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it certainly felt like he was going to challenge this defense no matter what, and he stepped up and tried to throw it to the outermost edge of the zone coverage, and they were more than ready for it. The problem now is if they are limited in what they're doing throwing the football, they got to figure out how to move it without being able to throw it to the outside and throw it downfield.
So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it'll be second down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
To throw again on second down, Winston. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Winston now. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. Winston to the sideline here on fourth down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
They did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
Taken from about the 12.
And they'll be backed up a bit to start as he's out of bounds at the 16.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. The football comes out. Jacobs lost it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game. And really, they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish control around the scrimmage.
It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on fourth down.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
A 40-yard punt, no return.
And they will take over first and 10.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
First down, Winston. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. He got 29 yards that time. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13.
47 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a first and goal.
Shotgun handoff to Samuels.
And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good red zone run there, 9 yards. And it'll be second and goal. They'll run it with Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Alvin Kamara,
his third touchdown of the game, 10th on the year.
And the Saints are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter.
Lutz will look to add the extra point.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Lutz now to kick this one away.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And now here's another interception. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Trying the left side with Kamara. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game. And they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the 4th.
They certainly are. And let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Working out of the gun, Winston. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
At their own 24-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like, what feels good to you and what feels good to your team? You're down big. You really have, like, one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
The Seahawks on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Now a hit and a loose football. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown.
Well, it's been a tough day, but they finally were able to get one into the end zone, and maybe the offense will feel a little bit better about itself going into next week.
And if you're a coach taking that into next week, I know you're upset, but it is a little bit more respectable, somewhat of a moral victory, right?
Yeah, they probably won't say a lot of that to the team, but it is true. It's something for them to build on, and then they can call their mom and tell her, hey, Mom, for your fantasy points, we got you a few down the stretch.
And here comes a return from just beyond. And all deep in his own territory. Coughs up the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up, and they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead drops from 34 down to 27. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not. And I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out. And you and I, let's get to the airport.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Winston. Being chased out left. For a big guy, Jameis sure can move. Did a nice job there picking up the first down with his legs.
At this point, this offense feels like they could just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end. Not when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Winston here to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
14 yards that time and a first down on the keeper.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
Jameis now on first down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Throwing, Winston. Man open, here is Crowder. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Here's Winston. On the move to his left. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
I'm actually looking at this play with defensive eyes here, partner, because they were still laser focused on him after his earlier exploits on this drive. I think they went back to the well just a little bit too soon. He got across the line of scrimmage, but they certainly weren't giving up much more than that.
And just one man in the backfield here. That's Kamara, second and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Third and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
Winston sneaking it, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Lutz good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
Okay, break.
And they will take a knee here. So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And when you break it down, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.